stop by. Four, three, two.
Good afternoon to members of the media and the listening public. Today I am pleased to formally release the November 2022 Labor Force Survey report from the Department of Statistics. The latest Labor Force Survey results show that there has been significant positive shift in Bermuda's labor market. The data indicates that the labor market continues to recover from the economic downturn caused by the pandemic. The report contains selective indicators of the labor force, including estimates of employment, unemployment, underemployment, participation, and hours worked. Indicators are presented for the labor force surveys conducted in November 2019, November 2020, and November 2022. It should be noted that the labor force survey is a sample, and such estimates attained are subject to variability. Bermuda's unemployment rate was recorded at 3.1%, significantly lower than the unemployment rate measured in 2019 and below the 7.9% unemployment rate measured in 2020. There were 1,121 people unemployed as of November 2022. The majority, 69.3%, were looking for work for less than 1 year. The unemployment rate for males was more than double the unemployment rate for females. The 16 to 24 age group had the highest unemployment rate of 11.1% compared to the 34 to 44 age group, which had the lowest unemployment rate of 1%. The unemployment rate for Bermudians was nearly double that of non-Bermudians. Amongst the race categories, blacks had the highest unemployment rate of 3.8%, while mixed and other race categories had the lowest of 1%. The unemployment rate for persons with high school certificates was triple that of persons with degrees. The labor force was estimated at 36,559 in November 2022, with a labor force participation rate of 82.9%. The working population comprised 96.9% of the labor force. The working population stood at 35,438 persons. Men represented just over half of the 50.5%, over half representing 50.5% of all workers. The leading age group was the age group between 55 and 64 years of age, which comprised 24.1% of the total workers. Bermudians comprised 75.6% of the working population, and blacks represented the majority of workers at 58.4% of the total working population. 96% of the working population had permanent jobs. The median gross annual income from the main job for the working population during the reference week was $65,725. Male workers earned 93.4% as much as their female counterparts. The 45 to 54 age group had the highest median income at 119.7% of the total. In contrast, the 16 to 24-year-old workers earned 55.6% of the total. Bermudian workers made up 77.9% as non-workers. The Bermudian workers made up 77.9% as much as non-Bermudian workers. The economically inactive population was 17,903 in November 2022. The majority of this population was retired at 62.4%. The next leading category was the non-actively seeking work category, which comprised of 21.5%. The most common reason for not actively seeking employment was that the person was a student or in training, and that represented 81.9%. In closing, I would like to thank all households that participated and completed the survey. It is clear from the labor force survey data that Bermudian employment is up and unemployment is down, which is a positive trend that aligns with the strengthening Bermudian economy. The public will note that the May 2023 labor force survey is underway. The survey period began on the 9th of June and will conclude on the 31st of August. I encourage all households whose dwelling has been selected to participate in the survey, as the information is vitally important to the production of timely labor force statistics. The November 2022 Labor Force Survey Report will be available on the Department of Statistics website. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. At this time, I welcome questions from the media.
Good afternoon, Minister. Lisa Bernardo from Bermuda Broadcasting. It was great to hear the positive shift that you noted in the report. Bermuda employment is up, but the youth sector seems to remain the most affected by unemployment. Is this a concern to you at this time?
Youth unemployment remains a concern. However, when we compare to the 2020 numbers, where our youth unemployment was over 30% and now stands at 11.1%, there has been a significant shift in the right direction as it pertains to our youth being gainfully employed.
Of course. And what factors do you attribute that to?
Generally, there has been robust economic growth in the economy, which leads to greater levels of jobs and greater level of job opportunities for our young people.
Absolutely. And secondly, with regard to the overall health of the economy, it seems that international business is flourishing, but the domestic economy is struggling. Would you say that's a fair assessment?
I think if we look across the board, we will find that the economy overall is doing extremely well. When we produce our annual GDP by production estimates, you will see which industrial sectors are actually thriving within our economy. And you will find that it's not just international business which is showing growth year over year.
And lastly, in regards to bolstering the economy and creating more job opportunities, how crucial is it that we get the Southampton Princess reopened?
It is a critical part of the equation. However, what I will say is we've seen job growth in the economy despite Southampton Princess being closed. If you look at the economic development strategy, we are going for robust, broad-based growth in a number of industrial sectors outside of hospitality and accommodation services. And so Firma Southampton is a key economic hub as it pertains to the number of jobs it is able to provide for the economy and the induced and indirect impact of the activity that takes place at that particular establishment. But notwithstanding that, we still see that there has been growth in other areas within our economy.
Thank you so much.
Hello, good afternoon, Minister. So this is a snapshot then survey, really. Why don't we have more regular unemployment figures, on a regular basis?
And so we've transitioned to having more current unemployment figures. So we now have 2 labor force surveys that will be run on an annual basis. That's a shift as it pertains to the amount of data that we were provided in the past.
Most territories, countries have them on a monthly basis. Why can't we do that?
I've seen where we have territories that run these on a quarterly basis. People have unemployment statistics on a monthly basis where they use secondary data. For example, they may have unemployment registered as it pertains to social benefits and unemployment insurance, so they're able to track it through those particular measures. Because we don't have unemployment insurance, we don't have that primary measure that we can use to track unemployment on a monthly basis.
You say that youth unemployment's gone down, but wouldn't you agree that a lot of that is to do with people just giving up hope and leaving the country, going to England and Canada because they don't see any future here?
That's incorrect. The numbers actually don't reflect that. The numbers actually reflect that there is genuine growth in the levels of unemployment.
What is the level of youth immigration at the moment?
We don't have accurate immigration statistics, but the labor force statistics that we have in front of us show that there is, in terms of Bermudian employment, if you look at the snapshot in 2019 and 2020, the 2022 numbers exceed those numbers.
Yeah. What do you say to critics that say that the fact that you don't have accurate youth immigration figures shows that you don't really care about the situation?
That's 100% incorrect. We have rolled out a robust youth employment strategy. We have seen our youth unemployment drop from 30%, now it sits at 11%. And so this is significant progress in that particular area. We've increased summer employment programs for our young people. The level of internships that are available for our young people have increased. The scholarships available for our young people have increased. So I don't support the notion that we don't care about our young people.
Finally, you're the minister responsible. Your colleague, Lawrence Scott, is trying to get this charter flight going from Jamaica, well, people from Jamaica going from the Dominican Republic to here and back again. There seems to be some confusion. Do Jamaicans and Dominicans need a transit visa even though they're coming directly here from the DR?
I think that the Ministry of Economy and Labor has made two statements in regards to that and made ourselves abundantly clear on which nationals need transit visas and which don't.
But it didn't happen with the Bahamian delegation, did it, to the PLP conference last year?
No, and if you look at the response that we provided to the media, we indicated that those nationals do not require transit visas.
Okay, thanks.
All right, thank you. Members of the media, I believe that's the final question. Minister, do you have any closing remarks?
Certainly. The economic activity in the economy continues to increase. As a result, we see that reflected in our job numbers. We will continue to push forward with robust economic growth and development to create more opportunities for the people of Bermuda. Thank you.